Welcome to part two. We're joined by James, who's just had a bit. Who's just called Parsons out, Puppy Parsons. Women love him, men want to be him, old Parsons. But James, bit of intense beef there with the son.
Not really, no, because to have intense beef, you've got to be on the same intellectual level, aren't you? I blame out the water, he's just a kid. I've said to you, Charlie, if you want to talk to me, we can have a chat and I'll tell you what you look like. You can insult me, and then we'll have a conversation about boxing and we'll see who the better journalist is. Because I might not have done it for pay, but I could blow you out the water journalistically. There you go, we'll carry it on.
Well, do you know a lot of these that have started on YouTube? I remember when YouTube boxing thing took off. I were offered the job at Boxing Social.
Was
So
ya?
Terry, yeah, the Neil Kettle offered him, and Terry was sat next to me. Dennis, Dave Allen. We all went out for a curry. Dave Allen, who else? For the Chris Smedley, Liam Cameron. We're all sat there. This Dennis was there, and we put it on me. I went, nah, I'm not driving up a dark country. Arse licking. He got there was Glenn McCrory doing it, and that Ben
Rob Phillips?
Doherty, is it?
Oh, yeah, Ben Doughty.
They did it, Ben Dart. I'm not sure if Ben fell out with Neil at one point. I went, oh, that's not for me, that. But Glenn McCrory was
Yeah,
doing it, but he was battling that alcohol addiction money at the time, so he was never going to last.
yeah.
But no, not
He,
for me, that. But I look at Boxing Social now, and I think that the people that have come through there, they've had to kiss ass, and that ain't me.
Rob Tebbett. Rob Tebbett was good in the beginning.
Yeah, I used to say that, but Terry were having none of it. I used to thought, I thought he started well at the beginning, same as Parsons. But what happens with them sorts? They get swallowed up, don't they? They get softened up.
Well, they get given a wage, so you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you, are you? Coogan was,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. They give them a little bit of
exactly.
an expense card, and there you go. And it
Yeah,
softens them because they get a little bit of a following, and they don't want them to be a problem down the line. And I think that's well, we can't say that till we see the Frotch Ben interview, but I'd be very disappointed if he'd been softened up.
yeah. I'm not hopeful, to be honest with you,
Well, I'm
Ross.
not because it's taking its time to come out, so they must be doing some editing with it. But
Yeah,
maybe they might bring it out fight week. But
maybe.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's been said in it. If it makes the Cobra look daft, or if he asked whatever, we will see, and we'll hear his response to it. But I can't wait for it.
Don't expect too much. That's all I'll say.
Oof, I won't. I don't expect much out of this sport. Not at all, mate. You see, I look at this sport now as in a tight spot because where's the big stars and anybody who wants to make any money, they're going over to misfits like Tommy Fury. 'Cause he's never going to
Yeah,
do well. Tommy Fury's not going to box for 5 grand in a in a central area cruiserweight eliminator, is he, for 5 grand when he can
no,
get X amount for being a pretend boxer? But we've now got Jake Paul and Joshua in talks, according to Hills. Jake Paul and Joshua are in talks.
yeah. I know it's brilliant, isn't it? Shows what how bad the sport's become. In some capacity, the Saudis are doing good, but then you've still got, old Jake Wood, Max Branning off of EastEnders. He opened the door to all this crap, didn't he, with drug ears? So you got Max Branning to thank for that.
Yeah, it's people. Someone's going on about Jay. Anthony calls me Mr. Porky. That's a good one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, John Coffey silent, but not Don Charles. What's going on there, James?
I've said this before, haven't I? Don Charles has been the ultimate protector. He's
Yeah.
been the ultimate protector, but he's also removing himself from trying to absolve himself of any blame because he keeps using the word the dad. Well, two words: the dad, the dad, the dad.
Yeah,
There's no talk of like, well, this is what I did as his trainer, the man who should be taking the ultimate responsibility for the actions of Daniel Dubois. The father shouldn't really be in the equation. Do you know what I mean? He should just be told, look, you want me to take over the range, you want me to train your son, you let me train your son. I always used to get frustrated. I mean, it's not boxing, but football. I was a Chelsea fan. I never watch football now, but as a Chelsea fan, it always used to irritate me that Roman Abramovich would hire managers and then tell them what to do. It's like, if you're paying me a wage, you let me do my job. Otherwise, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And really, if Don Charles had any integrity, that's what he'd be doing to the dad. But something isn't right because the story was dragging on for too
The
long.
stories don't add up. And why would you have a boxer, the heavyweight champion of the world, with a version of it? When have we ever heard a guy pulling out with 2 days to go, but he can't open his mouth because he's a giant mute?
Yeah, and he looked sharp as a tack on uh, on the open workouts. You don't just
Listen,
unless.
there's two ways, James, why he's not opening his mouth. One, right, because they've took something by accident, or
Mhm.
maybe three ways, or two, because he's a big dummy and he doesn't know what to say, or three, because his mouth's full of cornbread. So
Well,
it's one of
the
them
thing.
three.
Well, the thing is, right? If he come out and just said, "Look, I've taken something by accident," it's what happened. I do think Billy Joe Saunders probably, well, most definitely took more than he actually admitted to. But he did turn around and say, "Look, I took antihistamines. It was over the counter stuff, and shouldn't have taken it." No one really mentions that anymore, do they? No one mentions the Tyson Fury ban anymore. Just come out and just be honest. And the world forgets. How many times has Dillian White got to fail? And they keep giving him five, six, seven chances.
Well,
Do you
he's
know what
had
I mean?
four
Just
to our knowledge, hasn't he, now? That we know.
well, yeah, yeah, that we know of exactly.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
so yeah.
Right, Atman's just put a video out and it's called Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul in the works. There you go, when he pipes up. So, well, obviously, because Eddie's come out and he said they're in talks. If
Mm,
Anthony Joshua fights Jake Paul, as far as I'm concerned, this is what Liam said as well tonight, he's finished as a top class fighter.
yeah,
My opinion. That'd be protecting him to the ill. It'd be another Ngannou fight, wouldn't it?
yeah, but he already
Where we're at
knows.
with boxing now.
Well, the thing with the Ngannou fight, right? I can't completely blame Anthony Joshua for taking that because he was just try. He basically did what Tyson Fury should have done. He cleared up Tyson Fury's mess, right? So really, Anthony Joshua did the boxing world a favor by smashing Ngannou the way he did because someone needed to do it, right? But this is a different kettle of fish entirely. This is Anthony Joshua. If he takes that fight, it's him just saying, "Look, I know I've not got it anymore, but I can smash this absolute knobhead.
While I'm
Can
waiting
smash
for
him."
Fury.
Well, he doesn't even need the Fury fight, does he? Fury, I wouldn't. If I was Joshua, it's not like you need the money, is it? I know they get greedy, but after all the bullshit, because I firmly believe it was Fury that caused all the problems. I mean, he shown himself to be a prat on the Netflix documentary, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right? I'd begrudge giving him a payday. I'd just be like, well, I don't really need to fight her. We don't need to fight. And I don't know if Joshua will have the self belief. I really don't. I think he's fragile. And I've used the phrase before. I used the phrase to Kieran Farrell actually, because I spoke to Kieran Farrell before Daniel Dubois fought Joshua. And I said, look, everyone's going to be sitting there kissing your ass, but I'll tell you why Daniel Dubois wins this fight. Because as soon, Joshua's like a candle. As soon as you take the heat to him, he's going to melt. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
well,
I
won't
don't
it?
think, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think he'll have the belief like fighting Fury. He'll know in the back of his mind that he's shot, and he knows Fury's technically the better fighter. So, go and make 20 million quid knocking out Darth Jake Paul and call it quits.
Yeah, I see where you're
Yeah.
coming from. I see where you're coming from. Nick Ball and now you. Does that interest you? They're talking catch weights or one of them moving up a weight. What do you think?
It does interest me, yeah. I think, yeah, Inoue should have his number, really. I think he's a very capable fighter in terms of volume and all that, but Nick Ball, I mean, but Inoue's the same sort of fighter. You know what I mean? Volume and just going forward. They're going to meet each other head on. It's going to be the unstoppable force against the immovable object. And even though Nick Ball's probably the naturally broader, thicker man, Inoue's sort of boxed at a higher level and just, I think his class will show on the night, personally. I
Yeah.
think he'll beat Nick Ball. Yeah, I think he'll beat Nick Ball up. Um, just because of the class. I think Inoue is a special fighter. I think he may run the risk of leaving himself open anyway, but I don't think Nick Paul's got that sort of one punch power to be able to stop him. And I think as soon as Nick Paul does dig Inoue's going to get his hands up and he's not going to be as complacent as he normally is. And we're just going to see him sort of move through the gears. And he won't stop Nick Paul, but I think he'll beat him quite handily on points. There's no shame in that.
There.
Yep, that's how I see it going. I like Inoue, mate. I think he's class. And nationality doesn't come into it for me in terms of boxing. I like the skill set and I like the ability. That's why Usyk's my favourite fighter.
Is he?
Yeah, he's not English, is he? But he's just world class. So, you know.
Who's your best UK fighter at the moment, pound for pound?
UK fighter. It's hard that. Um don't know, there's not I probably would say Nick Ball. He's my favorite. Well, he's my favorite fighter.
Not many
And
world
he is.
champions, is there really?
No, not really. I will say Nick Ball, just because as well. And again, I'm a bit biased, but I had the privilege of commentating on one of his early fights, so I've always sort of taken a shine to Nick Ball, and I
Okay,
do like the
then.
way
Well,
he's what. Sorry,
go on, what?
I was just saying it's I take a shine to him, and I do think he's sort of ripping it up a little bit at featherweight, but I just don't think he'll beat Inoue. I think that'd be a
Yeah.
step too far. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go on to part three, kid?
Yeah, of course.
Cheers,
Zooming
mate.
for him, haven't we, mate? All
Cheers.
right.
Cheers. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Please join us on part three in a couple of minutes, and that should get me done for tonight then at 9. Okie dokie. Peace out.